Finishing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was everything I could ask for in a sequel. It really is more of the first game, just fine-tuned into an overall better experience. KCD 2 is absolutely going to be for a niche audience. You don't have to play the first to enjoy the second, but I'd still recommend it. Not only to appreciate what Warhorse Studio did for the fans, but also to see this game push the industry forward and solidifies what an open world RPG should be. Oh, this is the big test, Pebbles. Pebbles, please. Pebbles, please. Pebbles, please. Pebbles, please. Oh my gosh. At least they have a stop on them. Immersion is what invests players in a world. It's what transports you there, keeps you engaged, and most importantly, makes even the downtime feel fulfilling. Immersion comes in different forms: the creativity of travel in Breath of Wild, the freedom of character building in Elden Ring, or the Shakespearean dialogue of Oblivion. For KCD 2, Immersion works as a double-edged sword. The game is so immersive that it actually holds you back at the start. No weapon skills, no money, and nothing is handed to you, like in other RPGs. You have to earn everything. And that's the point. KCD 2 makes you work for every inch. For some, that's a turnoff, but if you stick it out, the game starts to feel more like a traditional RPG. Even things that seem like chores at first, eating, sleeping, crafting, become part of the world's rhythm. I found myself shopping for food, looking for places to sleep, and planning around quests. It wasn't just busy work, it grounded me in the game. The key isn't forcing survival mechanics, it's making you want to survive in the world. I cared about stats more here than in almost any other RPG because I didn't want to die to a random peasant with a spear. I cared about how Henry looked, staying clean, dressing well, saving money for noble clothes to boost my charm. Even travel mattered. Riding a horse instead of fast traveling saved time, leveled my horse, and triggered random encounters like in Red Dead 2. KCD proves the formula. Challenge your players to engage with the world, then reward them for it. Easier said than done, but here it's nearly perfected. Comes kind of meta. You build a character that's meta, but if you constantly have main storylines that require you to stealth, require to use survival to heal people, require you to fight, you're constantly having to engage in the world in different ways, which could incentivize players to go upgrade things that they normally wouldn't upgrade. And if they don't, then they just have to come up with creative ways on how they want to solve their quests. It's a really good way to fight meta in games. Immersion and gameplay are woven together like a fine tapestry. The way you build Henry matters. The game really expects you to become an all-rounder. Charming, crafting, fighting, sneaking. But if you lean too heavily in one direction, you have to accept failure in some task and get creative in others. I've seen players stay in the first town, grinding skills to max before moving on. Others, like me, push the main story and skip the side quests. That's the beauty. The game lets you play your way. This isn't like modern Assassin's Creed, stuffing the map with filler content. KCD 2 feels natural no matter how you approach it. Warhorse also listened to feedback from the first game. Quests are less fetch heavy. Combat has been rebalanced and small quality of life changes add up. Combat is tougher. Master strikes are back, but now enemies can use them on you too. I relied on the Master Strike far more this time around, but I didn't see it as an overcorrection, because in the first game you could solo an army. Here, fights feel riskier, as they should, but the system could use some tweaking. Loadouts are now instant, letting me swap Henry's look with the press of a button, yet my knightly Henry had both form and function. So another example of play how you want, and a new system isn't forced down players' throats. Dialogue matters more. It's not just about picking the option that pushes the story forward. Asking question rewards you with knowledge, stat boost, and useful lore. Everything about this game respects your time. The more you put into it, the more you get out. KCD 2's narrative is simple at its core, but layered in complexity. Even when I got lost in the details, the bigger picture never slipped away. The real strength? The characters. No one feels left behind. Every NPC, whether tied to the main quest or side quest, has their own worldview, their own moral struggles. Some are easier to like than others, but the writing team poured passion into all of them. The dry devil, pragmatic to a fault, willing to sacrifice reputation and lies for the good of his men. Catherine, depressed and disillusioned, wanting to change the world but terrified of the sacrifices it demands. Musa, courageous in his beliefs, yet a coward in every other matter. And then there's Henry. Unlike Mass Effect's binary good/evil system, Henry's choices feel closer to The Witcher, morally gray and deeply human. At first, I thought Henry's personal story was being overshadowed, but his moments of honor, pride, vengeance, and especially how his parents judge him at the end pulled me back in. Henry's actions matter. His choices ripple through the world, challenging you to weigh selfishness against selflessness, vengeance against virtue. And when you realize his mother has been watching all along, it hits hard and made me want to replay instantly, just to see how different decisions would play out. That's where the story shines, giving you freedom to bend or break Henry's values, those that have been crafted by his parents and him as a Christian, but always grounding you in his humanity. KCD 2 puts immersion at the center of everything. That can make it harder for new players, but I'd rather play a game that stays true to a vision than one watered down for the mass appeal. It may not go down in history like Skyrim, a game that welcomed everyone into its forever world, but KCD 2 should be remembered as a beacon for immersion, proof that making a game challenging doesn't mean making it punishing. If you want to understand what makes open world RPGs work or why others fall flat, KCD 2 is the answer. Immersion is what brings worlds to life, and that's why I have to give Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 a 9 out of 10. Until next time, play nice.